Hello and welcome to Comic Story and Weekly.
It was nicely
You
done.
like that
Yeah,
one?
it was-
You
it
like
was
that
good,
one? I
yeah.
feel like next time I'm going to go opera now. That kind of gave me an idea.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
So this is the comic book review show that we do here over at twitch.tv/comicstorian. And we also provide it to our Patreons at patreon.com/comicstorian, where you can support us on both those platforms if you do choose. Today it is myself and Andy. I don't know why I always
was
say
a weird-
today it's me and Andy as opposed to the
As-
other times when it's
Not.
Andy and I.
That is true. Sometimes I like to go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you doing today, Andy?
I'm fantastic, Dan. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I am doing quite all right.
Well, that's great.
All right. Well, so this
Enough
week...
pleasantries. Let's get into it.
So if you weren't aware, we haven't done this review show in a while because 2 weeks ago there were no comics.
That is true.
And the week before that we were taking it off for the holidays.
That is
So
also
we
true.
are finally back in action.
And like 6 comics came out.
Exactly. It was very, very small week to the point that I had to get confirmation from like 3 separate people that it was a light week.
Maybe I was just missing some.
Yeah. So we are going to jump right on in with one that I believe neither of us read, Action Comics 1018. Because I don't believe either of us are currently following that one because it kind of did not do that great for us. It does look like it's guest starring the Justice League and Legion of Doom.
Sure.
So if you're interested in that, check it out. Another comic that came out this week, Batgirl, number 42. Did you get a chance to read that one or Batman Beyond 39?
I did read Batman Beyond.
All right, tell me about
I
it.
have been reading Batman Beyond. So this one is, we're still in the Terry has amnesia.
Okay.
They have introduced Batwoman Beyond. She is currently fighting.
Is he just re?
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Yeah, so we got
That's what they
Batwoman
do.
Beyond. We're still trying to figure out her identity. And by we, I mean Bruce and Terry's brother, whose name now...
I can't remember his
Matt.
name, but I know who
It's
you're talking
Matt, I think. Are trying to figure out who Batwoman is. She's fighting Blight. I'm enjoying the current storyline.
Okay.
I still, if you've been enjoying the series, I would definitely keep going with it. I'm not. So supposedly they're going to reveal who Batwoman is
about. Okay.
next
I was just about to
issue.
ask that.
I feel like it's going to be no one that they've kind of like pointed to in the comic.
Because I believe in the past couple episodes that we have talked about this one, it seemed almost implied that it was Barbara Gordon.
Well, so it was Bruce thinks it's Barbara.
Okay.
Matt thinks it's Melanie, who is a former member of the Royal Flush Gang. She was
Okay.
a love interest for Terry. I think they're dating currently. I wouldn't say it's either of them. If I had to take a guess, it would be someone that they're not. They haven't said yet. Probably like
Right.
I think she's still in the
Spoiler's
con-
daughter. I don't know. I
mean,
said a random
it could be they could be introducing a new
Right.
character for the future, or it could be like Max, which was like Terry's friend, his kind of computer friend. I don't know. So
I'd kind of
supposedly
enjoy if
mixed.
it was a new character.
I think it would be
'cause-
cooler to introduce maybe a new legacy character, like the daughter of somebody or something like that.
Because it would be a shame if they did the Requiem situation of introduce
Yeah,
a really
yeah.
cool character and then they kind of cop out with, just kidding, it's the same person.
Yeah, it's the same person kind of thing. So who knows?
All right.
It's the daughter of Harley Quinn. Stay with me here.
Ooh, actually,
I don't know. Actually
she does have a daughter.
It's true. I think in the Batman Beyond universe, she had grandkids at some point.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Actually.
But no, I'm enjoying the series though. So if you've been reading it, I'd say keep going with it. So
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. That was Batman Beyond number 39. Next up, Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda number 5 came out this week. None of us are really Black Panther fans.
no, yeah, I've never been a huge Black Panther guy.
Yeah, so we did not read that one. A ton of Commando books came out this week.
I don't even know what
just-
that is.
I don't either, but
Okay.
all I know is that it takes up like
A
3
lot,
pages.
yeah. There was a bunch of old Marvel Conan the Barbarian ones too. Yeah,
it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Another one we actually do not read here. It's funny, whenever we start this podcast, a lot of the starting of the alphabet we just don't actually read, and then we get to
Interesting.
the second half and we're like, we read this and this.
I only read comics that begin after the letter K.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, so Daredevil number 16 came out.
No.
Detective Comics 1018 came out, as well as Dial H for Hero number 10.
This is gonna be a short show.
Yeah, none of those any of us are really super that interested in. However, Doctor Doom #4 came out.
Oh, yes. Did read this one?
I actually have been enjoying the
I have
Doctor
been,
Doom
yes,
series. Like, I
yes.
feel like a lot of people are kind of giving it a little bit of a hard time. This one I found very interesting because for the longest time, I did not know who he was talking to. I thought it was like replicating him talking to Kang the Conqueror.
I see. Okay.
Because like that's who's been
Yeah.
doing this, but it turns out it's an AIM villain.
Yep.
I won't spoil it, but it was a very cool issue to kind of see Doctor Doom as kind of like a kind of street thug kind of person.
Kind of, he's
like
still running
breaking
around in
in.
that hoodie, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom in a green hoodie. It also makes cosplay super easy.
Yeah,
If you think about it, you
Just
just
put
gotta
on
get
the mask.
You got to get a Doom mask, green hoodie, jeans, and boots.
yeah. It's not that hard. But I enjoyed it. I've been enjoying this series. I think it's been very solid. I'm actually very curious to see where they're going to go with it because the whole him seeing a future version, I'm starting to wonder if they're going to tie this in at all to the 2099.
Oh, maybe, yeah, kind of show how he's getting towards 2099.
Because like the future that he keeps seeing seems almost the exact opposite path of if he were to become the Doom 2099.
Right, yeah.
And I think that could be a very cool thing for them to add into this because Doom is everywhere right now. Like he's
he has
in
showed
a
up in a lot.
lot of different comics, a lot of different stories, and it would be kind of nice if we found out where exactly this was, kind of like when we did when we had Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah.
For a while, we're like, where does this
fall in?
line
Yeah.
up? But then it turned out that it did line up in certain ways, and I really hope they do it with this one. But I've been enjoying it. What have you been thinking?
I like it. I think it's an interesting book. I also think I like his regent. I forget her name now. off the top of my head.
Victorious.
Yes, I think she's an awesome character, and I'm intrigued to see now that the true ruler of Latveria has arrived, how that'll go. Yeah,
That one I see. It seems very interesting. All of this with the Simcaria and Latveria, and I'm very interested to see where it goes.
but yeah, I've been enjoying the series. I think it's a miniseries though, right? It ends in next issue.
It does not actually have
Okay.
a specific
thought it
end
was a
date from what
miniseries.
I'm seeing.
Okay,
It does have at least 2 more issues. So at
and
the
this was
bare
issue
minimum,
4.
yes.
Okay.
So the bare minimum is it's going to go till issue 6 in March. Nothing on this says that it's going to conclude.
Okay.
So this might be one of those ones where
If it's doing well, it'll keep going. If it's not, it'll stop.
we might get the kind of Superior Spider-Man situation of it's doing well. Let's extend it a couple issues, see how it goes.
And then at the end, Doom becomes Doc Octopus again. Wait, what?
It's like, what? How did that even
Twist
happen?
ending.
I would read that.
I would read that.
That'd be kinda
funny.
All right. So moving on from there, a large number of romance mangas came out. That is
my
a full
jam.
page. Harley Quinn #69 came out this
Oh,
week.
this was a good issue.
Was it? I
It
almost
was.
read it.
This was Harley Quinn versus McDonald's.
Okay.
It's the only way to put it. I think they call
The
it.
cover makes sense now.
I think they call it McDoggles or McGobbles or something like that. Looking real quick. I should say it on the first page.
The Ham Bezzler.
You got the Ham Bezzler,
Oh my
the
gosh.
Clown of Crown or the Crown of Clown or something like that. You got the Grumpus instead of Grimace.
McGobbles.
McGobbles, thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God, Grimace
so
looks creepy.
He does. He's really weird. So basically, this issue was about the Ham Bezzler gets out of jail for embezzlement, shockingly. It needs a place to go. He ends up going to Harley Quinn's apartment tenant because she's trying to be, an upstanding citizen now.
Right.
And then the rest of the McDonald's mascots, the McGobbles for legal purposes, mascots come after the Ham Bezzler because they say ruined his life, and then hilarity ensues. It was a fun little book. It's not like anything crazy, much like a lot of the Harley Quinn stories are.
So this sounds like one that you don't have to have been ready.
You don't really need to
anything.
know anything. You might be a little confused about why Harley's doing her taxes at the beginning, but other than that, you don't really need to know anything about Harley Quinn.
Okay.
It was just a funny book to see like her interact with these weird versions of McDonald's characters. I thought it was fun. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I'm sad I didn't read it then.
If you've been reading Harley Quinn, you know how Harley Quinn is. So
Right.
yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Because I've kind of been wanting to jump on at some point. Because
This was easily a good starting point.
Because I fell off during she was overly breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
she's definitely not like that anymore. I would say the last 3 or 4 issues, it's been very heavily getting away from that sort of thing. So,
okay,
yeah.
good. Because, that was my complaint. But all right.
Yeah,
Harley Quinn 69.
Art was good. The writing was fun.
Yeah, the art looked pretty solid. So,
Yeah.
all right. Check that out if you are interested. Next up is the new Hawkeye series, Hawkeye Freefall.
Oh, I think I missed this somehow.
So this one is based on Clint Barton Hawkeye, as opposed to a lot of the.
Oh,
more
right. We were
recent
talking about
ones.
this earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Kate Bishop is not in this. I'm gonna let you guys know that now, because a lot of the time when it comes to Hawkeye, it's always Clint and Kate.
Yeah, these days anyway.
So it was kind of cool having one with just Clint, because I'm a fan of Clint Barton.
Yeah.
He's a cool character, and so it starts off. It was actually a fun comic. I did enjoy it. It starts off with him like at a gang meeting, and like he's like pretending to be one of the thugs for the Hood to show up. And it's just great because the dialogue he has with himself, like when he's thinking to himself, he's like, yeah, this guy, he calls himself the Hood, and his name's like John Robbins. Wait a second, Robin Hood. I finally get it. And it's just like it really fits how you would picture Clint Barton to talk.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a very, very key thing for a lot of these stories, where it does not feel out of place. It feels like I am reading Clint Barton. And so the story arc that they're leading up to is Ronan has reappeared. Falcon and Winter Soldier go to Clint Barton, and in the really annoying trope that I was talking to you about, the person that they have fought alongside, who is a member of the Avengers, who's one of their best friends, they immediately assume is the bad guy that's killing people.
Yeah.
They didn't even give him a chance, the guy who used to be a Russian assassin.
Yeah.
And the other guy who took on the title of like 5 other people.
Yeah.
So that's always a trope I really, really hate, because it's just like,
Give the guy the benefit of the doubt.
exactly.
Yeah,
Why are you immediately jumping to fight against them? Especially because sometimes like it happens with a villain, and like one of the heroes is like, no, he's turned a new leaf. And it's like, anyway, it seems like it's going to be a fun story.
Okay.
It seems like it's going to be, or at least this first arc is going to be like a mini comedy between Winter Soldier, Falcon, and Hawkeye. And they definitely do not work well together.
Maybe Clint will show up on a show.
I would love that.
That'd be funny.
But yeah, if you're a fan of Hawkeye, if you're a fan of kind of the no powers comedic actual hero, not like Deadpool style comedy,
Right, yeah.
but like actual just I'm a really funny guy.
Yeah.
You will love this. It's actually really, really good. If you're not a fan of Hawkeye, though, this will not change your mind. I don't think so, but it seems like a good chance if you've always kind of wanted to read a Hawkeye story, because it's been a long time since we've had a Clint Barton Hawkeye story, and this one is on issue 1, so it's a perfect jumping on spot. It's literally like the perfect jumping on spot. Just saying. Anyway, next up, Joker, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Criminal, what is it? Criminal Sanity #2.
Yeah, this is the because I make the joke there's like 12 Joker / Harley books in the Black Labels right now. I think this is the 9th one. No, this was the one I don't like. This is the one where she's like, because they got the one that's kind of the a reimagining of the original Harley Quinn.
Is it in black and white?
Maybe. Yes.
Huh.
So they have the other one, which I believe is Harleen, I think is what it's called.
Yep, there's Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity, Harleen, Joker, Killer Smile, and then there's Curse of the White Knight. That's what's on the side, at least.
But the Harleen one is like a reimagining of the original Harley Quinn
Right.
Origin story from like the animated series and things like that, which I really enjoyed. This one, it's like she's like a psychiatrist who's on retainer to the GCPD, and I don't like this one at all. Honestly, it's a little boring. I mean, the art's okay, but the writing, I just find this one a little dull. This one and the other Joker one are
Right.
not on the top of my lists. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't suggest it. I would say go for the Harleen one. It's
Okay.
It's a lot more fun, I think.
I do find
As
it weird
opposed-
that they decided to put all of these out at the same time.
Yeah, it's
'cause
very strange to me.
It's just weird that they're like, hey, let's come out with all of these for people to directly compare.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, yeah.
like,
Well, because the Joker movie was coming out and the new
Yeah.
Birds of Prey movie's coming, it's like I
Harley Quinn
understand.
animated show.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. It's just like one of them is far better than the other two. It's
All right.
realistically what I would say. Yeah.
All right, that's Joker Harley, Criminal Sanity number 2. Justice League Dark number 18 came out this week. Did you get a chance to read that?
I read this one. I feel like I missed an issue somewhere because I was really lost for a minute there.
Okay.
Bobo no longer has his intelligence. Wonder Woman has been taken over by the witch there, Circe, whatever her name is. Circe, sure. I must have missed an issue or two somewhere in the break. Maybe I missed
Maybe this
one.
was one of those issues
it
that
happened.
came in on that 1 week.
So I was really confused. The issue itself is very good. Kind of, it's the Justice League Dark is fighting against the Injustice League Dark, the Dark Justice League of Doom, whatever you want to call them. So that aspect is cool, and John Constantine's there, and Zatanna's there, and things like that. But I wasn't really confused for like half of the issue.
Okay.
So if you've been reading it, I assume it's still going well because I enjoyed the issue, even though I was confused
Right.
through half of it. And it's always good to see like we've made the joke of the secrets that apparently are underneath the Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
And nobody else knows about them. One of them's got her whole like magical armory down there, the bones of a dragon they resurrect. It's a whole thing.
Clearly, the Earth truly is hollow.
It does seem that way, yes. So, but I did enjoy the issue.
Okay.
Even though I was slightly confused because I feel I did miss an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did look it up for the record. It did not come out the Christmas week.
Maybe
so
I just missed an issue somewhere. It happens.
Or it's been long enough that
That's
you
possible
forgot.
too, yeah.
Because we do read so many comics
That
that
is true.
things do tend to blur together when you read the same character in 5 different comics.
That is also true. That would be one of my biggest complaints. None of them talk to each other.
No. And they always forget what they were doing. Anyway, next up, Lois Lane number 7 came out. I don't
Yep.
think either of
I
us
fell off of this
really
one,
care.
yeah.
Martian Manhunter number 11 came out. Neither of us are reading that. But Marauders number 5 did come out.
Oh, it's a good
and
issue,
I know
too.
both of us have been reading
Yeah.
this. I really enjoyed it.
I did
I've
too,
been
yeah.
enjoying Marauders. I think it's a pretty solid story.
The previous issue was the first one I've been like, me, and that was the whole Sebastian
was-
Shaw thing. This issue returned back to the actual Marauders.
Yes.
A lot of fun pirate stuff. Kitty looking good in her pirate costume. And then they ended up in Madripoor,
Yep.
which is
Used to be
historically
the
mutant
mutant
friendly.
Yeah.
It's
not.
Not anymore.
No. Thanks
It's
to
realistically, I guess, what the
like,
issue was about.
What is it? The Council of Kids.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird.
Yeah, I mean, I really like, and I've said it from the beginning. This and Excalibur are probably my 2 favorite X-Men books out right now.
I've been really enjoying this one, and I really one of my favorite parts about Marauders is actually the way that Emma Frost acts and talks and like treats Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
And like it just, I really really like it, and I do like that in this one they start referencing the fact that a lot of the members of the Marauders are mostly there because they are concerned about whether or not Kitty would be able to be resurrected.
Right, yes, yeah.
If she died because of the fact that she can't get to Krakoa. And so
Which is still weird. They still haven't explained why she can't get to Krakoa.
Yeah.
But yes, then also everybody, including Kitty, is
they're kind of like,
if I die, do I come back? Or?
which led to my favorite line of Emma Frost, where she's like, I am really scared of dying as well. Which nose would I come back with?
Which is a
So-
good point.
It is. It's a very good point.
If you clone your body, do you clone everything you changed about it?
Yeah. At what point did
Yes.
you clone from? We're asking the real questions.
That's right. The big questions that come from reading comics.
Anyway, I think this was
She had
a
boob job. No, I'm sorry. Keep going.
probably very good issue. If you skipped last issue, I don't think it matters.
No, I don't think so either, honestly.
Like,
this didn't even really...
I think
like,
the
call
whole
back to
point of
anything.
last issue was to show the way that Sebastian Shaw feels about everything and the
Yeah.
fact that he brought back his son.
And I feel like they're both going to be an issue. Maybe not the son, because they kind of help him out in this one. But
Yeah.
I feel like Sebastian Shaw is going to be an issue. But
So
who knows?
it'll be cool. I'm excited to see where that one goes.
Check it out.
Next up is Miles Morales Spider-Man number 14. This was a pretty good one. It's kind of a little bit of an intermission because we have kind of I feel like this is a good jumping on spot because it starts off with Miles doing a summary of everything that's happened to him over this time because his mom just had another child, and so he is now an older brother. It was odd in this one that I believe the artist changed. Actually, no, it doesn't. So at the beginning, they show Miles, and he looks very young.
Right, yeah.
But whenever they show him actually at school, he looks very old, almost like he shouldn't be in high school anymore.
right.
But so this one is kind of the wind down of everything that happened with Ultimatum, with Uncle Aaron as the Prowler, all of that kind of stuff. But we are starting to go more into the Green Goblin drug that's being spread around, kind of seeing what's happening with that. And we also, a certain someone found his journal, which he has been writing like his main adventures as Spider-Man in. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes. I don't want to spoil who it was because you probably would not expect it.
I feel like if you're a superhero having a journal discussing your superheroing,
It's not a good
Not
idea.
the best idea, no.
That's like going, you know what? All right, Spider-Man, I am
Yeah, exactly.
Miles.
Yeah.
Okay, that way I won't forget.
That's
yeah, it just doesn't seem like a bright plan.
No, not really.
That's just evidence. Yeah, man, superheroes are stupid.
But it seems like it's going to start into a very interesting arc, and it seems like they're kind of planting the seeds for a couple different arcs, and I kind of like it. I like that they're setting the groundwork so that we know, okay, as we go forward, we're going to deal with this certain person with the notebook. We're going to deal with his English teacher wants to sign him up for a scholarship as a writer. Okay. Like there's a lot of different aspects that they could go to, and I like that they clearly state it instead of going, hey, we're going to just throw this at you halfway through the story.
right, yeah.
So if you have been wanting to read Miles Morales Spider-Man, it's a good jumping on spot. If you have been reading it and you weren't really enjoying it, you could fall off here, but I would recommend keep reading. So next up on our list today is Punisher Soviet number 3. So this one so far, it's been kind of slow paced. So in the first issue, did you read this one?
I dread this one.
Okay.
Oddly enough.
So in the first issue,
Somebody's doing
someone's
Punisher
doing
stuff.
Punisher stuff, and he eventually finds out that it's this Russian dude. The last issue and this issue were both the Russian dude giving essentially his flashbacks.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So it seems like this story so far is not really Punisher related, but more of a, hey, there was a Russian Punisher.
Kind of, yeah, is how it seems. Basically, what I got from this, because he's telling his story to Frank at this point. Yeah.
This is
and what happened to him in Afghanistan.
this was
in the
his
80s.
like Punisher turnaround moment.
Yeah, almost like
Just like in I'll use the show as the example because a lot of people know that one of he like fought himself out of like a massacre essentially.
Yeah, like in Iraq and things like that. Yeah.
So I thought it was a pretty good issue. But it does seem like okay, can we get to the Punisher
Right, what is
part?
the point of it? Yeah.
So, what did you think since you jumped on just on this issue?
I mean, as far as a Punisher comic goes, I don't think it was very good. As far as like a war comic goes, it was a good war story.
It's very well
as
written.
odd as that sounds. But yeah. But in terms of like the Punisher just stood there while this guy tells him about what happened to him in Afghanistan.
I don't
in
think
the
he's
80s.
really said anything in the
Yeah.
past 2 issues.
I think the most he said in this issue was the guy asked him, he's like, did you fight in Afghanistan? He's like, not as a soldier. Which also implies that the Punisher just went over there to blow stuff up. But so that would be my thing. Like the art is fine. I would just say it's not a great Punisher story.
Yeah, at least not yet. This could be one of those ones that might be better in the trade.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
it is only a mini series of 6 issues. I'm wondering if this is kind of let's see what people think about giving the Punisher a buddy. that is also a
I mean,
Punisher.
yeah. I mean, I guess.
But we'll find out as the story goes on. Next up on our list is Red Hood Outlaw, number 41.
I'm not really liking where this series is going now, honestly. The whole, he's training a younger Legion of Doom or like an upstart Legion of Doom. Like, none of those characters are interesting to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're not fun. They don't seem funny to me. Like, they don't, honestly, their origins and powers don't seem all that interesting. He meets up with Artemis and Bizarro again, and it's immediately evident that someone is controlling them, and then that's gone in like 3 pages. I guess this was the end of this arc, and I haven't been a huge fan of it. Yeah, the whole...
Yeah, it's part 5. It doesn't say finale, but
Yeah.
sometimes they don't.
So, honestly, like, I'll probably keep it. It'll probably most likely be like it is with Nightwing, which is like, I'm not really enjoying it right now, so I'll probably fall off reading it.
It's kind of
And then
you're
maybe
mostly
it'll
reading
change.
it for the show.
Yeah, kind of thing. Honestly, I wouldn't really suggest it at this point. I haven't really liked the whole thing they've been doing since they kind of reverted all of his character progression.
Okay.
Honestly, that would be, yeah. I give it a thumbs down, personally.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up, the Spider-Man and Venom Double Trouble, number 3 of 4 came out this week. I forgot to buy it to read it because it is a fun little. It's a fun little.
Well, this
kid
is the
story.
kids ones. Yeah.
Star Wars number 1 started.
Yeah, so they restarted. They ended with issue 75, I believe it was, with the original Star Wars series from Marvel, which took place between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
And now this new series, starting with issue 1 this week, it picks up immediately after the end of Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah.
So
literally the first page is him getting his hand cut
He gets
off.
his hand. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah.
Luke loses his hand to Darth Vader, who is also his father.
I like that they did the right line too.
Everybody misquotes that. Yeah. So it immediately takes up as it's a good starting issue, I think. If you don't know anything about Star Wars, I think it would be really weird to pick up this series.
Okay.
Like, you've never seen any of the movies. Like,
Right.
Who is this guy? Why did his hand get cut off? What's going on? It's kind of this issue is kind of Luke dealing with, because you got to assume he just lost his hand. That's a biggie. And then he also just discovered that this evil
I like
Dark
the
Lord
thing that he has over it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the space cast.
and then he just discovered that this evil Dark Lord, who's supposed to be one of the most evil people in the galaxy, is also his father. So you gotta figure he's probably not in the best mental state.
Right.
So this issue is pretty much him kind of dealing with that.
Okay.
This thing that happened to him. So I thought it was pretty good first issue. I really enjoyed the last series. I thought it added a lot to the Star Wars mythos that were a lot of fun. And there were some things that was kind of like, it's kind of stupid. But overall, I think it added some fun stuff. So I'm interested to see where they're going with it.
All right. So that. was
And
Star
I
Wars
will
number
say,
1.
you don't need to know anything from the previous Star Wars series realistically.
So
to pick
this is
one up.
as long as you've seen the movie.
As long as you've seen the movies, you should be good.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. That was Star Wars number 1. Swordmaster number 7 came out this week. We haven't been reading it, but I like letting you know as part of the kind of Marvel manga line, as I call it. The Flash number 85 came out this
Marvka?
week.
Marvka?
Mongol?
No? Anyway. Sorry.
Flash number 85 came out this week. We have not been reading this one.
No, that's a Benny book.
So on to the last page of this week. It was a short,
It was a short week, yeah.
For the
Apparently
record,
we
I
didn't read
will
half of
be
them.
mentioning some from
The previous-
the break.
Yeah, sure,
because there are a couple I want to talk about.
Right.
So The Terrifics number 23 came out this week. We have not been reading that one. Web of Black Widow finally concluded this week.
Okay. I know you were reading that
I
one.
was reading
Yes.
this one. This was the one that's got the really good cover art, but really bad
Right, the interior art's not so great.
And it was kind of a letdown. Like
Really?
it was just a the spy wanted to discredit her to turn everyone against her, and she's
Obviously.
like, "No, I believe in my friends." That's kind of the story.
Is that how you read Black Widow's
Yeah.
dialogue? She's
That's
kind
Black
of weirdly
Widow.
southern.
I trust my friends.
Hey, y'all. I'm Black Widow.
So it was I don't know. I feel like it was kind of a cop-out ending.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it was essentially like, hey, all those things you thought happened, it was a different thing the whole time. What? So anyway, that was The Web of Black Widow number 5. If you have been reading it, you might as well finish it.
I mean, if you're in 4 issues in, you might as well get the last one.
But I will say, if you were waiting for it as a whole, I honestly wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend the spending your money on that one. However, one that I would definitely recommend spending your money on is Thor number 1.
Oh, so good.
Oh my gosh. Donny Cates.
It was a good start to a Thor run.
It's so good because it goes in a direction that I wasn't fully expecting.
I wasn't either.
That plot twist at the end,
Yeah.
I am not going to spoil it because it is fantastic.
But I will. No, I won't.
But I like that it's directly after War of the Realms.
Yes.
He is king. I love
King
that he throws Mjolnir across the 10 realms and
To defeat somebody.
to defeat someone that the Avengers are fighting. And then Tony Stark writes, "Nice throw. Enjoy retirement," with a Sharpie on Mjolnir. I thought that was really good. I really liked it because it portrays Thor in the way you would expect him when he becomes king.
Right, yeah.
Just being bored.
right.
Like, he's clearly like, can I just
And
smite
actually slightly nervous about it, too. Because
Yeah.
he doesn't really know how to be a king. He knows how to smite things.
He knows, yes,
He knows how to
exactly.
swing a hammer and hit stuff. But yeah.
I really, really enjoyed this. I really am excited to see where it goes, especially since we get Galactus and all the heralds of Galactus.
And then they're talking about the ancient winter or the winter something
like
winter.
the Star Plague or the
Something
Dead
like-
Winter or something.
Dead winter, something like that. Yeah.
They call it a couple different names.
Well, because like most mythologies, they have like various names for a certain thing. I thought it was great. I thought it was really good for a strong first issue.
Very strong first
Because at
issue.
first I was like, I really like Jason Aaron's run.
It was very good.
And while I like Donny Cates, I was like, I don't know how he's going to do with a Thor run. Like his Venom and stuff is great. I like his stuff in the past, but I was like, I'm not sure how he's going to do a Thor run. But this was a strong first issue.
It really was. It's if you have not been reading anything Thor, if you did not read War of the Realms, it does not matter.
Not realistically. No.
They explain and set up everything that you need to know for this story. They wrap up kind of how War of the Realms concluded. They give like a little intermission, and then it does a great new start to a new arc that hyped me up like none other. It
very
does
much
explain why on the cover he has his arm back.
Oh yeah.
And the way that he looks and everything like that. I'm so excited for this.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
This run.
Yeah.
So that is Thor number 1. And last on this week's issues is X-Men number 4. I enjoyed it.
I did too. I thought it was a very good issue. It was very exposition heavy, but also had some action intermingled. The only thing I will say so far about the main X-Men issues, short of like obviously Excalibur and Marauders and X-Force and things like that, is I feel like we're still like, to me, this is what House of X and Powers of X should have been.
Yeah.
It's like the setup, like
Or at least should have been part of it.
yeah. This is issue what, 4, 5,
4.
4, and I feel like we're still setting up what the world of X-Men is, even though stuff is still happening all over the place.
Because this one's just essentially a meeting between Charles Xavier, Apocalypse, and Magneto with a couple world leaders.
Yeah, is really what it is. And I just feel like this could have been, like certain things like this could have been part of House of X, Power of X.
Yeah.
Is realistically what I would say. Now, it was enjoyable.
It was. I enjoyed it. I
thought it
like
was very interesting.
Apocalypse in a suit.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Also, one of my favorite parts was he was like, when they're like, no one knows how the Bronze Age ended.
Yeah.
And Apocalypse is like, yeah, well, you probably should be like afraid of what happened.
He's like,
They're
'cause I know
"What
how
happened?"
it ended.
It was me.
It was me. Okay.
I did like that in this one. I really like this attitude of Eric Magneto. Like, I really like him kind of a not evil, not good, but truly sitting in the we're world leaders now.
Yeah. And,
Like,
and not only are
accept
we
it.
world leaders, we know how to beat you now. Like before,
Yeah.
like I think he says, he's like, before I would have gone to war with you. We would have thrown stuff around. Yeah. He's like, now I know how to beat you.
Yeah. Now I will just buy your government,
Yeah.
essentially.
So which, I mean, is really genius if you think about it.
Oh, it really was. And for those of you who have been coming up with theories, Xavier does unmask in this.
Yes.
The first time we have
Yes.
seen him without the helmet on, and it is Charles Xavier. I say that because there were a lot of people with theories of, oh, it's actually this person.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
this.
it's gonna
It's
be-
actually
yeah,
not
yeah,
this
yeah,
or
yeah.
this or this. So I did enjoy that. I like that I just really liked the exposition and the way that everyone handled things. And
Yeah.
it was just, the dialogue was very well written.
Yeah, I think it was a good issue. Yeah,
It was.
Like I said, my only complaint would be it still seems like we're in the setting up phase when I feel like that should have been taken care of.
Yeah.
In the House of X Power X, but it in and of itself is a very good issue, very good story.
All right. So that was all the comics from last week. There was a couple I wanted to mention. The first up, did you read Doctor Strange Surgeon Supreme #1?
I did not.
So this comic came out for some reason on December 26th. So the week that
Even though, like,
really
nothing really
came
came
out,
out, yeah.
they decided, hey, you know what? Let's put out a brand new book.
Screw it. I don't even
I
care.
really liked it.
Did you?
I really, really liked it. So he's got his hands back. He's a surgeon again.
Sure.
And the entire issue is him explaining the situation of the hospital knows I'm the Sorcerer Supreme.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I was
the
gonna
surgeon.
Say, I was going to say
like-
at this point,
and so like
most of the world would know.
all the groundwork is laid down. He's like, they set everything up that if you have not been reading Doctor Strange, you're good to go into this. If you don't really know anything about Doctor Strange, you're good to go into that. Like, it was a very, very good starting issue. I really enjoyed it. I think you would
Okay.
really enjoy it.
I'll have to
The
check it out.
art's pretty good. Nothing crazy good,
Right.
But it did not detract from the story
Okay.
at all. So I really liked that. Another comic I wanted to talk about this week was the new Suicide Squad that Tom Taylor is writing.
oh, I missed that.
So that one was the week.
We took off.
Yes. So
Okay.
the week we took off, this was the comics before that.
I was going to say, because I feel like I didn't. I think I only read what I actually normally like myself would read.
Right.
So I don't think I started any new things, which is probably how I missed it. Okay.
So very good story. They introduce an entire new group of heroes or villains in this case, as well as a new Suicide Squad.
Okay.
And not only that, Amanda Waller's stepping down. So we've now got a new leader of the Suicide Squad. So there's a lot of stuff going on that I feel is going to be really, really cool, especially in the hands of Tom Taylor.
Right. Yeah.
I got to verify
many-
that it is him.
How many of those people do you think are going to die?
Well, in the first issue, about 6 of them.
oh, well, there you go.
Like it was fantastic. Like I
Yeah.
actually really enjoyed it because he did not
Pull any
waste
punches.
time.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
just like, hey, guess what? That person died. This person
Yeah.
died. That person literally just got ripped in half.
I gotta read this.
And,
issue. Is it Tom Taylor?
Yes, it is Tom
Okay, I
Taylor.
gotta read this issue.
So it's very, very good. It's leading up to what could be a very cool story, as well as what finally feels like a unique Suicide Squad story, or
Okay.
at the very least, a true mix-up. Not hey,
yeah.
we just replaced one person.
Yeah. Right.
This is we have added new heroes. We
How
have
does
a
the
whole new
Suicide Squad
team.
keep getting Harley Quinn? Doesn't she own a tenant building in Coney Island?
But
How is she back in Arkham?
she's currently that's a different situation.
Is she in this?
I think she is.
Is she?
I think she
Man.
is. I could be wrong. I mean,
She's also
This
traveling
was like
around
almost a month
America
ago.
with Poison Ivy in a convertible right now.
her true superpower, she duplicates.
That is true.
If you weren't aware,
Oh, that'd be so crazy.
that would be
If they just
really
got-
cool. Actually,
They're doing the 3 Jokers. They should do like the 5 Harleys.
I'd read that.
I would too.
I would. But anyway, that was Suicide Squad #1 by Tom Taylor that came out before our break that I really wanted to mention because it was so good.
Right.
Was there anything you wanted to mention that happened over the break?
Came out
that,
over the break.
Last Night on Earth finished. The last issue is that's the Black Label Batman Scott Snyder book.
Okay.
Last issue was really good. Twist was really good. I don't want to say it.
Good.
In terms of what I personally got over the break, I've still been following with the Black Label series, Last Gods, which is very good if you like dense sword and sorcery, like Lord of the Rings kind of stuff.
Okay.
And Basket Full of Heads. She's adding more heads to her basket, if anyone was wondering.
I wanted to make sure she was
she's
keeping
filling-
up with her collection.
She's filling that basket. And then over Christmas, I believe it came out. What did Christmas actually fall on? Might have been the week before Christmas.
So the week before Christmas was the 18th. The
That's
week
when
of
yeah,
Christmas was I'm going through because there are a couple from the 18th.
Right.
I do want to mention.
The Grant Morrison's Christmas special, Klaus, came out. It was Klaus and the Story of Joe Snowman or Joe Christmas.
Okay.
It was quite good. That is a yearly thing him and Dan Mora come out with, which is adding to basically it's Santa Claus as a superhero.
Love it.
And it is awesome. So yeah, those were really the big ones I saw or I read over the break. So
All right. A couple other ones I did want to mention.
Okay.
Annihilation Scourge did complete.
Okay.
So they finished that one up if you were reading that one. Agents of Atlas completed its mini story as well. It's a 5-issue arc, so if you were curious about that, you might want to pick it up. Aquaman completed their story. I think they completed. It was either the last or the penultimate issue.
Okay.
So if you were reading that, I remember enjoying it. Obviously, I mean, these came out on the 18th, so I'm a little foggy on the full memory of what it is.
Yeah, half the time.
But I did want to mention some of these because there was some conclusions, such as so Justice League Hell Arisen came out, which Benny told me spoils the last 2 issues of Justice League, that the last issue has not actually come out yet. Doomsday Clock concluded. So we had that.
Oh, that's right. That did come out on the 18th as well. Yeah.
Yep, we had
I actually enjoyed the ending to that.
I thought it did conclude properly and
Pretty
went in
well.
a direction I wasn't.
Yeah, it
fully
pretty much the last
expecting.
like 3 pages was just a love letter to Superman, which
Yep.
is fine.
It was good.
I feel like that is definitely a series that will read better in a trade paperback. Or if you
Definitely.
could just read all the issues
Oh,
at the same
100%.
time. Yeah, yeah.
100%. Gwenpool Strikes Back completed, which was
Yes.
fantastic.
It was. Yeah,
one
we
of
did talk
probably one of the best comics endings, I should say, because the comic as it came out, I judged very harshly.
Yeah,
but it concluded.
you and me both were like, we lost it.
Yeah.
But yes,
But
the
it
ending was quite
really
good.
ended perfectly. Guardians of the Galaxy number 12 did come out. It's really cool what they're doing with Rocket. So they did kind of conclude that one as well. For the record, if you didn't notice, the reason why I'm going through these is a lot of them did conclude. And if you don't like keep up, you might have wanted to know about these. The Justice League 38 came out, like I said, penultimate issue. The King Thor miniseries also concluded.
That was a good ending. Well, it was a weird ending, I will say.
Yeah.
It was good, and then it got weird, and then it got good again.
Yeah. League of Legends Z number 2, also very good. The 2099 miniseries kind of concluded with the 2099 Omega.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to go with that in the future,
I don't
or
know
if they're going
either,
to
yeah.
go with it at all.
I wasn't huge on the ending to that one, honestly.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider started. It's a 5-issue miniseries. Very much enjoyed it.
Did you?
You should check it out.
I'll
if you
check it out.
have
I
not.
haven't really enjoyed that character, honestly.